Hello, Year 6, Mrs Hodgson here. I've been going through a lot of the information that you've sent me, and I thought this would be a good time to answer some of your questions. If you want to watch this video with your mum, your dad or your guardian, that might be a good idea, because then they'll know what we've talked about and what I've said to you. Remember that a lot of the information is in that booklet that we've put online, so keep reading through that, because a lot of what you've asked me actually does appear in that booklet. Now, I've got a friend to help me. You've met Mr Johnson already. He's been doing some of the Year 6 videos for you, showing you around the school. So he's got a list of the questions that some of you've asked me, and I'm going to give you the answers. So hopefully you'll enjoy it, and hopefully you'll find it beneficial. Mr Johnson, first question.
The first worry is really, I'm a bit worried about getting lost. Can you help?
So everyone gets lost at the beginning, because it's a new place. It's just like when you go on holiday. It takes you a few days to find your way around, to get your bearings, to find out where your hotel is and where your beach is. And you know, even if I had been coming out into your primary schools, I've been doing transition for over 20 years, and I still have to be escorted back to reception by a Year 6, because otherwise I'll get lost. But we do have maps available that you will be having a tour on the first day, whatever the first day looks like and when it is, and we'll make sure that you get to find your way around. And once you find out where all the blocks are and where the canteen is, you'll find that it's actually not that big a place, because there's a logical sequence to where everything is. We have a maths block, English block, science block. So once you get your bearings, we expect you to get lost, but there are always plenty of people around to help.
So if I do get lost and I'm late to my lesson, am I going to get told off?
So in the first few weeks, we expect you to be late. We have, when the bell goes at the end of a lesson, we have a 5-minute break, and the teachers all come out of their classrooms. There's always plenty of people to ask the way in the corridors. We do expect you to get lost. Obviously, if by Christmas you're still late to my French lesson, I'll think you don't like French. But on the whole, within a couple of weeks, you'll be able to find your way. The children at Embrook are kind. The older children will be more than happy to escort you to a classroom and be late themselves, knowing that they won't get told off of having helped a Year 7. So you don't really need to worry about that either.
That's nice. I am the only one coming from my primary school. How am I going to make friends?
So I've been gathering lots and lots of information. A lot of you've sent information in to me already on the sheet that was attached to the pack. If you haven't done that, please do so. I've also been getting lots of information from your primary school teachers, so I already have a fairly good idea about who you get on with, who you want to be with. If you are a single, then don't worry, because the information that you give me about your hobbies and where you live and what you like to do and what you don't like to do, that's invaluable as well. I will help try and buddy you up with people who've got the same interest, people I think you're going to have some sort of connection with. I don't very often get it wrong, but you have to bear with me this year, because obviously I'm not going to get to know you and get to speak to you face to face.
Am I going to be with my best friend from primary school?
Oh, this is a massive question, isn't it? So sometimes we all want to be with our best friends, but your teachers might have told me that you are very good with your best friend, but you don't work very well together. I can only promise you, Year 6, that you will be with someone that you know who is coming from your school if you have requested it. If some of you have requested to make a fresh start, I will try and do everything I can to accommodate it, but you will be with someone you know, not necessarily your best buddy.
I'm a bit worried that I'm not going to have time to eat my food at break time.
Right, so we do have quite short breaks, purely because there are so many people, and when it's raining and it's cold and it's miserable outside, it's not very nice to be just hovering around outside. So our breaks are quite short. But for the first few weeks, to get you used to the idea of a shorter break, for example, we only have half an hour at lunchtime. I allow you out of lessons. The lesson before a break will finish 5 minutes early for the first 2 weeks, to give you time to firstly find the canteen, and secondly to get in there before any of the other students. But that's only for 2 weeks. You do learn quite quickly that you have to have a shorter space of time. But some people eat both breaks and sort of spread their lunch over the 2 breaks, so that they do manage to eat it all.
I'm a bit worried about the queue in the canteen.
So there's quite a strict queue in the canteen because obviously everybody's desperate to get to their bacon sandwiches or their sausage rolls. But there are always staff to patrol, and there are always staff on hand to make sure that the queue is orderly. It can get very busy in the canteen, so if you are worried about crowds, it might be an idea to just bring a packed lunch. It moves fairly quick. It moves fairly quickly, and usually everybody's got the same aim, so everybody helps everybody else.
I'm a bit worried about getting bullied.
So if I said that we didn't have any bullying, I'd be telling you a fib, and I can't tell fibs. So we do have some bullying, but it is always dealt with. The minute I find out that there's any unkindness or any nastiness or anybody making anybody feel unpleasant or unsafe, I deal with it immediately. We have a zero tolerance to bullying. No teacher should be telling you, oh, just ignore it, it'll go away, because it won't. And if you have a worry or you feel that someone's been unkind, you just need to come and let me know, and it will be sorted immediately.
I'm dyslexic, and I'm worried about my work as I'm learning is hard.
Okay, so you're not going to be the only one. We've got lots of children who've got a learning difficulty or a dyslexic. My own daughter was very dyslexic, but the staff know how to deal with you. They know how to make learning not so difficult. What you sometimes just need to overcome is the fear of having a go. You mustn't be frightened of getting things wrong. It's only by getting things wrong that we learn and that we make progress. So if you find something difficult, the best thing to do is to have a conversation with your teacher. We want you to speak to us. And then the teacher will work out a strategy to help you to learn. We also do have lots of teaching assistants who are in classrooms, not specifically to help any one individual sometimes. So they will also come and give a hand. But we do have some very caring teachers in the special needs department, and they will do everything that they can to make sure that you achieve your potential.
How much homework am I going to get?
You will get it, and you will have to do it. You don't get the choice, but we have 5 lessons a day, so you can expect to get homework from about three of them, usually half an hour each. So you shouldn't be working for much more than an hour and a half a night. But of course, sometimes if some subjects give you project work, that might take a little bit longer, but it will be spread over a longer period of time. My advice is always do it the night you get it, because then it doesn't build up and up and up and up, because you will get more the next day. So do it as near to the lesson that you were set it as you possibly can. And again, if you're struggling, talk to your teachers.
I'm a bit worried about losing my things.
So I always get lots and lots of emails from parents saying, oh, so-and-so's PE kit has been stolen. Nobody will steal a PE kit. PE kits get lost. So you make sure, please, when you get your stuff, that you have your name on everything. You put your name in your pencil case. You try and put your name inside your shoes. You put your name on everything. There are 1,200 children at Embrook, and they've all got the same uniform. But if you've got your name on it, eventually it will come back to you. We do have somewhere in reception for lost property, so that's the first place to check. But ultimately, you are responsible for everything you bring into school, so make sure that everything's named.
Am I allowed to bring my mobile phone?
Phones. Phones. As a mum, I used to think that phones were an absolute fantastic thing, but as a teacher, they're not so good. You are allowed a phone, year 6, but if you have a phone, it has to be switched off and not seen when you are inside the building. And that includes looking at it just to check the time. Get a watch instead. You cannot have them on in lessons. They are a distraction. And people, the grown-ups that are in your life, probably don't know the timetable yet. The last thing you want is for your mum to check that you're all right, slap bang in the middle of my French lesson. So please make sure that if you do have a phone, you can use it at break, but make sure it's switched off. My advice is to not bring it for the first few weeks, because we use it as an emotional crutch to hide behind. And if you're on your phone, chances are that people aren't going to come and talk to you because they might think that you're in an important call or whatever. So my advice is not to have it, because the first few weeks you should be around trying to make friends, especially as we won't have an induction day this year.
I'm feeling a bit nervous, excited, anxious, all at the same time. Is that normal?
So am I. So am I. The reason is because we're not going to meet, and you're not going to get a chance to meet me face to face in your primary school. But that's normal. That's part and parcel of growing up. And I know some of your parents are anxious, some of your parents are worried about you, but we can't stop the passage of time. Everybody has to go to big school. Everybody has to go to high school. You just can't stop that. But I am there to help. If you are feeling worried, frightened, you just come and have a conversation. I've got a fantastic team of tutors that are all there to help you. And Mr. Johnson, who's asking these questions, he's attached to our year group as well. So you'll see him most days too. Don't worry about those feelings. The one thing that you do need to do is keep them in check. And I would rather you be more excited than anxious, because anxiety is a negative emotion, but excited is a positive one. I just need to add 2 little things before we finish the recording. As I just mentioned, induction day, which was meant to be on the 24th of June, is obviously cancelled because of social distancing. It's impossible to put that in place. And the parents' evening of that evening is also cancelled. And if you're brave enough and you've watched all this, can you tell your parents about the uniform discount from Marks and Spencer's between the 2nd of July and the 30th of September, when there'll be a 20% discount applied at the checkout. So no need to hurry about buying uniform and ties yet. Wait until I write to you and tell you what your house is, because that will determine the colour of your tie, and that's when it should be all right for your parents to get your uniform. It's been lovely to talk to you, Year 6, and I hope that this has helped, and I hope that by seeing me, it makes you feel a little bit reassured. We're there to help. Thank you, Mr. Johnson, for being my partner in crime.
Pleasure.
Bye.
How do I stop recording? There we go.